She prays for patience while her husband sleeps beside her like a stranger. She has loved faithfully, consistently, completely, and still finds herself eating alone in a crowded marriage, reaching for a hand that's always just out of grasp. She has wondered, in the quietest hours of the night, whether God sees the loneliness she's too ashamed to name out loud. He does. And what he says to her is not what she expects. Number 1, God sees the marriage she is holding together with her bare hands. The woman married to an avoidant carries a weight that has no name in ordinary conversation. She isn't widowed. She isn't abandoned in the traditional sense. She is present inside a covenant with someone whose attachment wounds prevent him from being present in return. She cannot explain the specific texture of this loneliness to people who haven't lived it. The loneliness of being chosen on a wedding day by someone who emotionally leaves every day after. God does not require her to explain it. He sees the dinner conversations that died before they began, the intimacy she offered that was received in silence, the version of herself she has quietly compressed to make space for his need for emotional distance. He sees the faithfulness she has maintained not because it has been easy, but because she believes love is a decision made in the absence of reciprocation. He does not call this foolishness. He calls it a reflection of his own nature, a love that extends without guarantee of return. Subscribe for faith-rooted psychology that speaks to the pain people carry inside silent marriages. Number 2, God is not asking her to disappear inside her marriage. The woman married to an avoidant has been told, by her own heart and sometimes by well-meaning counsel, that submission means self-erasure, that loving him well requires loving herself less, that faithfulness requires the permanent suspension of her own emotional needs. God does not confirm this narrative. Her needs are not spiritually inconvenient. Her longing for genuine connection is not a failure of contentment. It is the imprint of a God who designed human beings for intimate, mutual, reciprocal love. The ache she carries is not ingratitude. It is the recognition that her marriage is missing something God intended for it to contain. He does not ask her to pretend the absence doesn't exist. He asks her to bring the absence to him without shame, to stop performing peace she doesn't feel, to understand that her desire for a husband who is truly present is not asking for too much. It is asking for exactly what covenant was designed to provide. Number 3, God holds the avoidant husband with the same patient authority he holds her. The avoidant husband is not beyond the reach of transformation. His attachment wounds did not form in a vacuum. They formed in the absence of safe love, consistent presence, the experience of being held without condition. These are wounds God specializes in healing, not through the pressure of a wife performing enough love to fix what early attachment broke, but through the direct confrontation of a man with the Father he may have never known how to receive. God does not ask her to be his therapist, his mother, or his savior. He asks her to release the exhausting project of healing her husband with her own emotional labor and trust that the work of transformation belongs to him. She is not alone in this marriage. She is not invisible in this pain. And the God who designed covenant love has not looked away from the loneliness living inside her faithfulness.